Samantha Riley obviously gave a very moving and touching first-person account of a young person's experience with prescription pill abuse. For our next first-person account from a professional person's perspective, we have Dr. Rizzo.
Well, the good news, I don't have any slides. I don't even have a prepared speech. I'm an internist. I practiced in Western New York for 28 years. I was assistant medical professor at the university for 28 years, teaching residents and students. And I also was the VNA, Visiting Nurses Medical Director. Had the world really in my hands. Then in 2005, I decided to have both my knees replaced. No problem. Told my secretaries, I'll be out 3 months, come back and we'll resume. That didn't happen. I went back to work December '05. In April '06, I went back to my office. I had an unfortunate event during surgery. The tourniquet on my left leg was left on too long, and that caused a neuropathy in my foot. And that's if anybody knows what a neuropathy is, it's pretty severe pain. But it got better. I was on no narcotics after, went back to practice on no narcotics. In December of that same year, my knee started hurting. Saw my doctor, it was infected. So they had to take it out. So they take out the knee and they put a stiff piece of, not metal, but something better with antibiotics, a spacer it's called. You can't bend your knee with it. So I had to do that for 3 months, and 3 months of IV antibiotics at home. After that 3 months, they took me back, put a new knee in. Everything looked great. A year later, infected again. IV antibiotics at home, take the knee out, put the spacer in. Next time, it was 12, 13 months, infected again. So I changed surgeons. Yeah, I'm real bright, aren't I? I changed surgeons, and it turns out that the cement that they used kept getting infected. Even a little piece was left, it'd be infected, and then after a while, it would grow back. So this surgeon I went to doesn't use cement, which is great. So he really did a great job. That was 2 years ago, 2 years and 1 month ago. My knee's great. My foot's much, much better. But this all cost me, and I never used an illegal drug. I didn't even use marijuana. I tried it once in medical school, took a puff and got sick, and that was the end of it. Never used cocaine, nothing like that. I was a straight shooter. But after my third surgery, I liked the pain medication because it made me sleep. And when I was sleeping, I didn't have any pain. So I got addicted to prescription medicine. For me, not for somebody else, for me. Instead of using it every 4 hours, I used it every 2 hours. And so I became really addicted. Luckily, my wife, been married 42 years, decided to have an intervention. And so these strange people showed up in my living room. Some of them were my best friends, and they gave me all this speech about how I need to go to rehab. So I did. 15 weeks of rehab. Cost $52,000. Needless to say, it depleted our accounts, not being working for 4.5 years at that time. But I managed to get my pain medicine, and I kept using it. Once I went to rehab, haven't touched a drug. It's 3.5 years now, haven't touched a drug at all. I subsequently, thank you. I appreciate that. Subsequently, I learned that you could control pain without narcotics. And in Virginia, Williamsburg, Virginia, where I went, they had a very unique compilation of things you could do for pain. The meditation and acupuncture was great. That helped a lot. They changed my medicine, my non-narcotic. One of the problems was I was only taking half the dose I should have been taking. It's called Neurontin. It's used for seizures. It's not a narcotic at all. On the appropriate dose, my pain went to almost zero. And then over the years, as the neurologist told me, it would slowly, the neuropathy would go away, and it is. Almost all gone. So this cost me, by using prescription drugs, and I knew I was doing wrong when I did it, cost me my career. Luckily, I have a great wife. She stood behind me all the way. But again, it was prescription medicine. I didn't go to anybody else. I didn't use cocaine. I didn't use anything. And so what I did do is lose my license. You can't, as a physician, you can't be on narcotics and be practicing. Well, I really wasn't practicing for those years, but occasionally one of my friends who was a patient would come to the house and needed their prescription refilled. Well, when the health department found out, they took my license. I'm getting it back, luckily, since there was no patient issues, but it's really changed our lifestyle. And through everything that I've gone through, and my wife, I am one of the luckier ones. I found a way of controlling my pain without using drugs or narcotics. I do meditate if I have a problem. That really does work. I thought, when I was in practice, when somebody would come in with an alcohol or drug problem, I kind of just shuffled them off to somebody else. So I guess if there's any good thing that's happened for me, was now I have a group of friends with AA and NA that I go to that I never would have had before. And these people are great friends. They do anything for you. But it brings back the realism that being a physician, you're not a god. You're not above everybody else. You can get the same things that happen to other people happen to you, and boy, I know that. So all I would say is that one of the problems is it's too easy to get prescription medicine. I don't blame the doctor who gave it to me. I'm a physician. He figured, well, I'm not going to give him any problem. I'll just give him the medicine he needs. But that's what got me into trouble. Maybe, it's a big maybe, if I hadn't been able to get the drugs so easily, I would have stopped before I really had a problem. But now I'm going back to practice. When I get my license back, hopefully at the end of the year, I have another 15 or 20 years to practice. I hated retirement. I know some people enjoy retirement, maybe it's different, but I really need to get back to work. I love medicine. Other than my wife and my grandchildren and my children, it's the most important thing to me. And I want to get back to that. With that, I think that's it.